Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of my PC build. For those that have tuned in, you'll kind of know the story of what's been happening, but for those that are new to this series, I want to just touch on what we're talking about. So I have an old desktop PC that's about 5 years old, and I've recently bought a new system, and you can find details about what that system looks like, and you can see other videos of me building that PC and talking about the parts on my channel as well. Today's episode I want to talk about benchmarking this new PC. So we benchmarked my old PC and we'll look again at those stats, but I want to benchmark this new PC and talk about how I'm actually finding some of the performance around it. So for those that tuned in the previous episode, you'll remember that we benchmarked the PC, my current PC, and it fared a lot better than I expected to. Some areas were pretty poor and there were some things that I found out. Overall the PC wasn't a bad PC. There were some things that I probably could have improved on, and I'm definitely, once I get all the data off that old PC, I'm going to rebuild it and see how it fares with a fresh build on it, and we'll maybe have a look back at it, because it could probably still be quite useful in my environment as a demo PC or an additional PC just for storing some stuff on. But it fared fairly well in terms of CPU. The CPU was a good CPU when I bought it 5 years ago, but it just started to lag a little bit, especially with my workloads that I wanted to use it for nowadays. Now the graphics card, and we'll see that in this new PC as well, was fairly middling. It wasn't great, but it certainly serves the purposes that my husband and I need for the home PC. My disk drives in my old PC did fairly well as well. There was some really bad old ones in there that did perform really bad. But overall, there are some salvageable parts in there. And like I said, I'll probably rebuild the old PC once I've got all my data off and take it and either use it in the new PC or use it for some other purpose. So overall, that old PC wasn't too bad, but it wasn't faring very well. It was certainly struggling in terms of what I was trying to do nowadays. Video editing was taking a long time. I could only really have one program open at a time, which hindered some of the creativity and trying to do things in a decent workflow way. So a few weeks ago, I did one of my weekly videos and I rendered it on that old PC. It took about 34 minutes to actually render that video file from the raw footage into an MP4 that I could upload into YouTube. And once I'll tell you what it now takes on my new PC in a minute. So I ran the same benchmarking software on this new PC and I'm really pleased with the results. We've got a really good overall performance. There's some things that I need to have a look at, but overall, as you can see, things are much better. They're all in the green than that old PC. If we look again at the CPU, it's performing really well, and to be honest, I'm really positive and really pleased with how the PC is performing in terms of CPU utilisation. I've only seen it spike once at 100%, and that was video rendering, but that's probably something that over time I might get better at when I get a wee bit more proficient at using some of the video editing software. And to be honest, when I am video editing, 9 times out of 10 I'm leaving the PC to go and render that video and I'm done, and that workflow just carries on without me being there. So even if it does hit 100%, not a massive issue for me, to be honest. Now the graphics card is the old graphics card. I haven't decided whether I want to upgrade it. This graphics card is fairly decent in terms of what it does for me. It can support up to 4 different monitors at the time. You probably need something a bit better if you're going to go for gaming, but as I've said in my previous videos, my husband and I don't do a lot of gaming on the PC. I have been gaming on Farming Simulator, but it only needs 2 gig of memory from your graphics card, and this has 4, so it definitely is overperforming in terms of that for me at the moment, and I'm happy with the gameplay that I'm getting from it. In terms of the discs, they are performing amazingly. The Samsung 970 Evo M2 stick is just outperforming everything. I personally don't notice too much of that. Certainly everything is a lot faster than it was in my old PC, and even on my Surface Book 2, which I think has an M2 drive in it as well. This new PC is kind of really performing massively well. I'm not sure if the money that I paid for this drive is ultimately worth it, if I'm honest. Originally I was going to go with, I think it was a Toshiba M2 drive, which was a better price point. It was lower in terms of some of your IOPS and your stats, but I think it probably would have been more than sufficient. So that's maybe something I would change in the PC if I was redoing this. I'd probably still go for that Toshiba rather than paying for the name that you get with the Samsung. But certainly in terms of performance, it's outstripping everything, and that's amazing. The Toshiba old spinning rust or hard disk that I've got in there, again, is super performant. I'm using that to store a lot of the video files, and recalling them when I need them. If I need to go back and re-edit something, is certainly working out fine for me. Now, this is actually interesting around the memory kit. It's not saying that it's great here, and it's saying that it's unknown, and there's something that I probably need to look at enabling in my BIOS. So I'm definitely going to take that on board. I'm going to go and do some reading, find out more about that in terms of whether that's something I should be enabling, or whether that's just an error that don't need to worry about. The 32 gig in the machine is certainly performing amazing. I can have multiple browsers open, I can have email open, I can have Adobe Premiere open, I can have Photoshop open, and I haven't seen the memory spike. I think I've seen the most that the memories went to is about 18 or 19 gig. So there's definitely a lot of headroom there in terms of performance and outstripping what I need it for. So for me, it's working out fine. It's interesting that this is saying there's potentially something I can tweak to make it better, so I'll definitely have a wee look and see what I can do there. Now, as I said, my old PC rendered one of my weekly videos at 34 minutes. My new PC can do it in 2.5 minutes. I want to caveat that with I had been video editing all day on that PC before I attempted the re-render of that weekly video, so I'm not sure if maybe Adobe Premiere had cached some things or had stored some things in the background and made it a lot quicker, but certainly that's a lot more productive. And like I said, I can have Adobe Premiere, I can have Photoshop open, I can have internet browsers open, and the machine just performs. It purrs away. It doesn't struggle. It doesn't slow me down. I can do everything I want to do and not have to juggle maybe another PC in the at the side to try and then do multiple tasks. I can multitask absolutely fine on this new PC. The fan noise is fine because I've plugged in the fans into the motherboard. The motherboard tries to control what's happening based on the workload and how hot the whole system is. I certainly notice the fans ramping up, and they do get a little bit noisier, but in terms of my old PC, it's much quieter. The fans ramped up the other day when I was doing some video editing in the background and also playing Farming Simulator on top of that. The PC performed fine, but the fans did ramp up, so it was obviously getting quite hot. Those that watched me buying the parts and building the PC will remember that I bought two 120mm fans to put in the case, but there's space in the case for more, so the case can have at the front either three 120mm fans or two 140mm fans. The top hosts a 140mm fan, and I think at the back you can have 120mm. So I've ordered some new fans, so I'm going to up the fans a little. So I'm going to have three 120mm at the front, 140 at the top, and 120 at the back. The top and the back will be exhaust, and the three at the front will be intake ones. So they'll be here in the next few days because I got confirmation that they were getting packed and shipped from the supplier. So yeah, I'll definitely do an additional build video when I put in the new fans and let you know how that goes. In terms of the temperature and stuff, I've not noticed anything errant around there. It's still within operating temperatures, certainly just with the fans that I've got. I've noticed over the last few days, as we've got really good weather in Scotland, the PC has heated up a little, but I think that's more to do with the fact that everything is just really, really hot at the moment, and it's feeling a bit of the brunt of that. So overall though, massively happy with the PC, really loving it, really loving being able to do the video editing and manage all of that multitasking, and it's made me actually spend more time gaming on my farming simulator, so I'm really enjoying that. You might even see some videos popping up around me actually playing that game. So yeah, overall really happy with the performance, and would certainly recommend all the parts that I've picked, and wouldn't hesitate to do so. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video.